accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
That means I need to say g'day mate and welcome to Ixion with me, JD, the accident-prone ship, because it doesn't matter what I do, they seem to have accidents non-stop. So can you do me a favor? I've heard a rumor that for every like I get on the video, I get one less accident. So could you do me a favor? Could you just throw a like down there? Also, if you haven't clicked subscribe yet, it turns out that's worth like 10 anti-boo-boos. So if you click the subscribe button, I have 10 people that were going to have an accident don't have an accident. But today's episode, we're orbiting, that's the word I'm looking for. Crack, I don't know, 51, I think we're orbiting. Yeah, 51, which has the bacteria that we're going to talk about in just a minute. First thing I want to talk about is probes. I use the scientific method of wave the mouse around and we're all probed out. So that's one thing covered. The next thing I want to talk about was science. So I have a lot of science that we have unlocked and a lot of science we haven't unlocked. There's a couple that I want to unlock and there's a couple that I need to unlock eventually. So we're going to start up at Health Center. I can get a dedicated PA, which means recovery rate is 20% faster. Sounds like a deal to me. We're going to grab that. It's 50 science. It's going to take a minute. We can get the Hull Temple. The Hull Temple, we can get the next upgrade being Be It, which means each Hull Temple increase the maximum integrity by 10. As I have 6 sectors, that means a total of 60 hit points. Don't know if that's worth 36 research, but you know, it's there if you want it. We have the Exo Fighting Drone, which we definitely want eventually, but I need to build it. So we'll get around to that eventually. The Observatory. The Observatory Plus provides +1 stability in a sector, but reduces the max hull integrity of the Tiqqun by 25. So if you got the Hull Temple and you put 1 in every sector for +1, +2 in every sector, because we've already have the Praise It upgrade, then you could afford to put in 2 observatories and you'd lose 60 hit points, but you gain 80. So you'd be up 20 hit points. Hell, you can even put in a 3rd one, but then you'd be down 5 hit points. I don't think that's worth it, honestly. The algae farm. The algae farm, we do want to get the algae upgrades. We want to get the extra farm pieces. We've planned for the extra farm pieces, so we want to get them. That's going to require an upgrade in the mushroom wall, and that's going to require controlled mitosis in the algae farm, being this one. So we want to get both of those eventually. Which brings us to the next sector. A legislative strengthening center provides +2 stability when the stability of the sector is below 0. I don't really have a stability problem, so we're going to skip out on that event for right now. We do have the DLS Center, which is priority to the workers. Stability from only awakening workers has changed to -1. It's normally -3. If you're going to run that policy, not a bad research, but I'm not running that policy, so it's a pretty mute point. Upgrade interface. A gauge display the indication process between tier 2 of the specialization. No point for that, because I don't care. We either have it or we don't. Crop farms, we're not going to bother with because we're going over algae farms. Mushroom walls, we're not going to bother with because we're going with the algae farms. I do need to get controlled symbiosis to do the algae farm upgrade, so we need to keep that in mind. Alternative Life Center. Provides +1 stability in the sector. Now, if you have more than 400 people in a... Whilst has more than 400 crew in a sector, if we look at this, every sector except for 5 and 6 are over 400. That'll give me an extra +1, so that gives me +2. That sounds like a better research than a lot of the other ones that we've looked at. So we're going to do that. We can also get another +1 if we get over 800 crew, which, considering the amount of crew we have, if I distributed them a little bit better. Also, let's go to here for just a second and look at this. And I have 331 peepsicles to still pick up, along with Sector 1 has 300 plus 350. We could probably do that without too much problem. It turns out the medical is broken again in Sector 5. Yeah, they had a boo-boo. And that one's not built. Do I have enough people in this sector? I do. I solved that problem. Yeah, but I think I want to run 2 medical centers. Okay, back to research. Okay. So then we have the memorials. We can get +1 stability and also a +2 stability if I have a specialization and the memorial built in industrial, food, or population. I don't have a +2 specialization in industry, food, or population, so I can't see that happening. In fact, actually, speaking of specialization, you don't have specialization. Wow. Okay. Can I turn that on? Yeah. Build the drone bay. Have the drone bay run as well. Okay. I didn't see that coming. Can I get a storage? Because we already know where storage is going to go there. And it's going to be food. And then I can decommission that one. Alright. Back to tech. So this one's pretty useless. The only specialization I know I have is I have 2 sectors that have industry. Yes. Infirmary's done, crew quarters done, mess halls done, insect farms, pretty much a mute point at this stage. EKP engine, we can get 10% faster, 20% faster, 30% faster. They sound like good upgrades eventually, because rather than me taking 10 cycles to travel somewhere, it'd be 9 or 8 or 7 if we got these upgrades. It's 100 points worth of research. We can get them eventually. The Tiqqun hull upgrade. So this is 20% less damage from impacts. I haven't had an impact yet, but it's probably bound to happen. This is hull deterioration whilst moving is reduced by 10% and 20%. You take 50 damage per cycle from moving. So that's going to take off 5 damage. That's going to take off 10 damage. I don't know if that's worth it, considering our damage is 100 plus. So we go from 100 to 150, but I'm repairing at 100 rate of 170. So, you know, pretty much a mute point. So that sort of rules out that one. Stockpiles, we can get 20% more resources. Wouldn't be bad. We'll get that eventually. Workshop, we have provides power overloads have a lower chance of generating accidents. Sounds important. Although we get accidents no matter what, but sure. Firestarter halves the trust penalty arising from overload, okay, and high quality lubricants makes construct buildings 25% faster. We're going to do that because I'm doing a whole lot of building, but that's pretty much the only reason. Cargo ships either move faster or transport more materials. I don't need them to move, well, the only advantage this would be is if I'm dropping off items for a event, or that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I have so many resources, we just can't smelt things fast enough. And even if I could smelt things faster, I don't need things faster generally. Mining ship. We can have 30% more deposits, or we can mine things faster. I have enough mining ships that mining everything as fast as they can mine. We can't pick it up. We can't process it fast enough. So, again, mute point. Solar panels. Reduced by 10. Costs reduced by 10%. Doesn't matter. They're all maxed out. Gateway. Electronics costs reduced to unlock new sectors. Reduced by 30%. They're all unlocked. Tech labs done. Probe launcher. We can get probes made faster. Made faster. Cost less polymer. Cost less polymer. Scouting radius is increased. Scouting radius is increased. Move faster. Move faster. None of it's worth it. We've just got 3 probe launchers. It does the job. Airlocks. We could get repair efficiency increased by 15%, but currently this is pretty much the only place I'm spending steel. As I have too much iron to process and too much steel, in fact the recycling machines are backed up because we've got nowhere to process steel. Again, not really worth it. Construction speed is increased. We've constructed everything that I know of, so let's not worry about it. Docking bay. We can make ships faster. It's alright, we're not making any more ships. And we can store more crap. I don't really need to store more crap, because at the moment we're trying to empty the one that's full of ice, which has like 300 ice in it. If I had 20% more, that'd be 360 ice. It's not going to help me. Unknown might help me, but I don't know what unknown is. So that brings us on to batteries. We could get charge speeds increased by 25%. Sure. Charge speeds increased by 50%. Great. Charge speeds increased by 75%. Awesome. We can add that to the list of, why not? Steel mill. 13 alloy now, 13 iron now produces 15 alloy. Don't care. 10 now produces 15. Still don't care. Polymer. 4 now makes 5. We have nothing to spend polymer on, so let's not. Production speed is increased by 20%. We have nothing to spend polymer on. Yep. Please see above and please see above. Which brings us on to electronics. 25 silicon now produces 1 electronics. Now, silicon I technically don't have a lot of, but we have a lot of microchips through recycling, like a lot of microchips. So let's not worry about that. The only one I see is 10% fewer workers and 20% fewer workers. That could make some sense. We have colonization, so reduces training speed by 1 cycle, reduces training time by 2 cycles. Each training center can now accommodate 50 non-workers and 200 non-workers. I can see that we're going to need to train up some more colonists sooner or later. So I think to mitigate having to worry about the research, I'm just going to build a training center right now. I'm just going to start training all of them, because the non-workers are useless, and if they become colonists, they don't cost me anything extra. They don't need extra food. They don't need extra support. They don't need a pat on the back every now and then. So I'm just going to train them all over now. Fusion station. Now, we're about to get rid of ice, but I do need, for the waste treatment center, I do need the ice preparation workers. So 15 ice now produce 48 water. So we can get this one. Power cost is reduced by 50, because it turns out the water treatment plant uses 100 power. Okay. Also, we need to have the assembly line sped up by 20%, so we can do this one, so we need half as much waste. It sounds like a no-brainer to me. Waste treatment plant, self-cleaning lubricants. Power cost is reduced by 5. Sounds like a deal. Recycling alloy costs 10% less waste, 5 extra polymer, and recycling electronics 20% faster. Same story as above. We have lots of stuff. Drone bays. Lots of researchers, lots of things, more drones, faster drones carry more. I want all these. I want every single one of these. Nuclear power plant. I want a nuclear power plant eventually. So there's a couple of outside techs, there's a couple of nice to haves, and that's sort of about it. The only thing I really need is I need to have the waste treatment center done after I get rid of fusion plant. After I have I need to have these researchers done when we run out of ice. So, that's our plan when it comes to research. Ice. I have 200 right here, plus I have another 110 here, another 135. So I have a little bit of ice I still need to get rid of. We did clear up this area to put in another steel mill that I don't think I need now, so that's a thing. Now, I did mention... Delete? Okay, now you're working. All right. I do have a couple of problems, and that is I have too many people. So I have a people problem. So I need to sort that. One way I'm going to sort that is in this sector. I'm going to turn you on and hopefully get rid of the steel. And then is that a nice house? It is a nice house. I want to put in population... No, space. A training center, which I want to put right here. Yeah, because this sector we happen to make microchips in, because we're going to set at least a couple of these to microchips. At the same time, I forgot we have a whole bunch of housing right here that none of it's built. So we're going to resume all those. Now, I do have a +3 from living in demonic quarters, which is sort of important, because we only have +3 in the sector, which means stability +1 +2 +3. That should fix that problem. And once this is built, we're going to turn you on auto build or auto train, and we're just going to train every single person in this sector across to be a colonist, which also means I'm going to start filling up this sector with people, because why the hell not? And then we're just going to train them colonists, and then I'll ship them out to a different sector. Don't know what sector that is, but we'll ship them out to a different sector. This one is mostly done and ready to go. We still have a large room here to do something with. And this one, I was looking at dumping people into this sector as well. I was looking at having 2 people dump sectors. But these are all 8 tiles wide. These are all 7 tiles wide. These are 6 tiles wide. Which leads a conundrum of where do we put things in. And I think my answer is we're going to remove you. So then I can build you... Where are we? Road. There. We're going to put you there. And then I'm going to remove you. And you.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
And we're going to build each one of them. I keep clicking research. And now I click something entirely different. I'm just going to build these down here. Because why the hell not? Why the hell not? We'll just rebuild them all down here, out of the way. It leaves me... no. I wanted to build things the other way around. I want to build these on the top wall. Because that takes up space. That means I can't put cell housing. Maybe we don't need that much housing. Maybe it's going to come back and haunt me and I have to rebuild everything a second time. Alright, I don't know. Meanwhile, so we're trying to get rid of the ice in here, and that's pretty much it. Oh, one thing I did want to put in here was I wanted to put the Cult of the Hull there. All right, with that thrown in, we'll just hook up the roads temporarily, and then we should be good to go. We could put in batteries and other things in here, and so on and so forth. This sector's... No, not done, not done. Sector number 1 doesn't have a lot of battery power, just 6 cycles. So, they have one of these monuments, they have a +6 of happiness, which means I'm ripping it out, because, you know, I can. And in its place, we're going to put in 2 medium batteries. Maintenance. Battery, tier 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to look at what we're doing, housing, etc. Because now... You are waiting on a building bot to come build. But we're in sector 4? Yes, 4. Okay, so I should be able to ship across straight away 100 and something people. So we're going to go from non-workers 1 to 4, 130 plus. What's that? 160? I don't know. Just start the migration. What's that say now? It now says I can ship it across another 40. We'll ship another across a 40. Now, I do need to keep an eye on total population. I can't exceed... Where are you? I can't exceed 1,400. 1,400 is the most I can feed in a sector. But we're going to turn on U-Train automatically. We're just going to start popping out colonists. Because why the hell not? I can put more recycling in here, which is something I do need to look at doing. But we can worry about that in a little while. We're going to put in stability... one of them, plus one of them, plus a road to here, because this won't fit. Can I just put a storage, here? Where have I put this? It's going to be in the way. That's what always happens. Can I put a storage here instead, and put our microchips over there? Which means I should be able to empty you, and I can put in my next happiness building, and then finally I want to put a life center happiness building on the end. Okay, with that planned out, we can now go check to see what happened with the P51. Okay, so we left this last episode with a decision to make, whether we'd let the bacteria live inside the chest cavity of one of our brave scientific crew, or whether we get the hell out of there before anybody dies. And I think after the last time we played with an experimental item that was locked in a cage, we're gonna get the hell out of here. We're gonna leave the bacteria for later. Somebody can find that. With that out of the way, P41 docking bay. Let's go to docking bay, just in case there's more peepsicles. Because if there's more peepsicles, I at least want to find them so we know about them so we can deal with them. Okay, so where were we? We were training people, so that's hopefully now training colonists. It is. So if we look at what sector we're in sector 4. We have no colonists active. Excellent. But we do have a research about to finish. Now, this sector is now very happy. And we still have a lot of trash. Ice. We're still burning off ice. That is burning away nicely. That's down to 34, so I definitely need to look at... we'll get this one. We can do the... So, the Aquarius... Was waste consumption reduced by 25. Okay, we can do that. So we can do that. I don't want to do this because it's going to produce more water, which means it's going to take longer to burn off the ice. We don't really want it to take longer to burn off the ice. I'd much prefer it to be quicker. We are going to, in this one, I have plenty of workers. We're going to put in another waste treatment plant right here because we can. Yes. Okay. Oh, we defrosted our 2,000 peepsicle.
Ixion is ready to perform a volt jump on your order.
But I'm not. So how about that? I'm not. I want to make sure that we have done everything we can. Obviously, we want to finish off all the science. We also wanted to put in maintenance. Big battery right there with a big battery right there. Well, medium battery. Okay. Alright, Sector 1 still has too much population, but all those houses that we unpaused are in Sector 4. So, from 1 to 4, 4 can hold 500 people. Yeah, 500. So, non-workers, and I have 470. Guess what? We're shipping out all 470 non-workers Done. Okay, so that means I don't have to, at least in Sector 1, worry about peepsicles for a little while, or at least hitting some sort of population limit. Sector 2 could still do with batteries. We put in you. Let's just... Sure, let's just whack in one battery. One very big battery, at least then hopefully it's enough I don't have to worry about things for a little while. Steel seems to be flowing fine, so we're just going to leave that. Alright, crack 43. Huh? Oh, destroyed document. Wrong one entirely. Okay, the information you found on the Yamanaki's cruise and command center has led us to locate its docking bay. We've arrived at site. Part of the Yamanaki is a real piece of Swiss cheese. Paradoxically, there's little debris surrounding. After a rapid survey, we've identified two areas of interest: a still accessible docking port and a communications area. Let's do the comms area first. Sure. All right, with that... Oop, wrong one. That done. You're going to whack in a battery. That should charge up that sector. That should charge up that sector. Ice, we're still burning through. You're about to be running. I want to swap you across to microchips. Crap, I got 3 people too many.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
4 to 3. Yeah, let's go from 4 to 3. I have 3 people too many, so we'll just mail them on to the next sector. Great, that way hopefully they won't starve. And microchips. Microchip, steel. So I got 2 of them doing steel, the rest doing microchips. That should be fine. We're doing that. So as soon as that one's done, we can do this, which means I use less waste. And ice... This dock is now empty. Okay, we're going to 49 ice here. Okay, so we're getting there slowly, and we're still at 105% food. Okay, that's a good sign. I gotta keep an eye on that, because I don't want to run over on ice. I definitely don't want people to starve. Alright, destroyed document. Communication room is a theater of atrocities. Frozen, severed bodies, parts float everywhere, and there's grisly spectacle. Team found the Yamanaki had implemented a system of non-computerized communications in the battle. UN had discovered that their messages were... They were sending and receiving via devices and hardware in this area were being tampered with. Oh, this falsified information caused a cascading series of accidents and prompted the move to a new comm system. Something was hacking or mimicking the Yamanaki's communication protocols perfectly. That does not sound good. All right, well, on to the docking port. All right, and back to our ice situations. I should be fine for a little while. I'm trying not to babysit it. By the same token, I am babysitting it. And I need to look at... So there is half a dozen researches I want to do, mainly for reducing power. Can I get the food moved out of here? Okay, so Sector 6. Wrong one. Sector 6. Look on food. Sector 6. Can I import all the food there? And actually... Sector 5, 80. Sector 4, 90, 90, 90, and 90. Okay, so the fact that they're having 70 out of 90 probably means the other 12 or so, 21 is marked as eaten. But if I can get a bunch of food shipped over to Sector 6, this should empty these guys. That's what I'm really hoping to do. Plus we have the drones that hopefully help. We could turn on another one of those. At least then we can empty this. That way we should be able to burn through more ice into water. Because these, as far as I understand, consume the water no matter what. And if the food doesn't get picked up, the food just doesn't get picked up. Obviously, I prefer it if it was picked up and used. Okay. No, we just finished that research. Can I do... That's the nuclear reactor. At least the dry dynamic. 179. Sure. We'll queue that up straight afterwards. So you're out of ice. You got 10, pretty much. There's 70, 80, so there's 100, 200 ice, plus 14 there. Yeah, okay. We're at the point of let's get the research done. Okay, where are we? Docking bay. This is the gear team with We're stationed by the docking bay. It has accumulated a huge mass of debris at the bottom of it. Broken vessels, corpses, damaged skypods. All of them have been frozen into a horrible amalgam. Ships have entered the port too quickly, crashing inside while attempting to flee. The docking bay came under a heavy projectile fire, which tore open the hull and breached the protective plating on the Yamanaki. We've discovered an intact, unexploded BMS missile embedded in the wreckage. Should we investigate this further? Well, maybe. Initiate a controlled detonation of the missile. Defuse the missile? Okay, so they can bring it safely to the gear for analysis. That sounds like a good idea. Transport the missile. The gears team will cautiously remove the missile from the bulkhead. They'll then bring it back to the Tiqqun for in-depth analysis. Rather than trying to pull it out of the bulkhead and hope for the best, I think we're going to defuse it. That's the safe option. If I do the safe option, then we get to see it go boom. Which, I'm a big fan of fireworks, but I think we're going to defuse the missile instead. I think that's the wise decision. Hopefully. Alright, so we are burning the last of the ice steel. Yep, okay, that's all fine. We now have enough battery in Sector 2 to run 9.8 cycles. Sector 5 is short on battery power, but then there's nothing in Sector 5. I do want it to move, so I want to move you down here as well, which fits into cryogenics footprint. That footprint, no. No, you're a 6. Oh, and we're missing a whole memorial. Wow, can't have that. Build that in there, build that in there, remove that. Let's just put a giant ass battery. Sure. I just accept that things are getting in my way. Every single sector, things are going to get in my way. Okay, so that means we'll remove you, and you, and then I'll put in stability, one of these, and then, like I said, things are going to get in my way, so let's put a storage container there for food. I can get rid of this storage container for food, and then I can put the last thing in there, and then I think I'm happy. Okay, and research. So that's doing... No, we haven't even started. Okay. Because I also need to actually have the research done, which requires research points, which I might not necessarily have at the time that we run out of ice.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Okay, we managed to defuse the missile. The technology contained with it was not only more advanced than what on board the Tiqqun or even the Yamanaki, but is a structure and logic belonging to a completely different scientific paradigm. Okay. Paradigm, yes. We've transmitted the data schematics to the Tiqqun Tech Lab for further analysis. Okie dokie. Well, I'm surprised they managed to get defused then. Alright, so that's another 15 science, which is not a lot. Not a lot. We'll have to go on to... So I got 43 and 37 to go. Let's go there, and then of course I've got 41 all the way over there. We're running out of things to do in this sector. We're only a couple of planets left.
An accident has occurred in
somebody wanted to talk to me, which is now enough research data to analyze the missile technology. The associated research project can be launched in the tech lab. With this, we should be able to set up countermeasures to protect ourselves against the weaponry. Okay, good note. A missile threat analysis upgrade unlocked for the Pinasari. Alright, perfect. Okay, back to these problems. That's been built, that's been built, that's been dismantled, that's all being dismantled. There's no steel here because you guys are processing it. There is not enough food here.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
6. How do you not have enough food? You can literally see 27 of the people weren't fed. Okay. That makes no sense. Alright. So you're doing ice lasts longer, and then we need to do this. So it's another 45 on top of the 7 that we're going to spend. Okay. Alright, so that's that research done, which will halve the power cost. Because that's the big thing. It uses 100 power. And I don't have nuclear power yet. We probably should have researched nuclear power, honestly. But we didn't. Alright. We are down to... not a lot. Well, not a lot of ice. After all the ice is gone, I've then got to burn off all the water, which is 1,000 water, which is going to take a minute, in all honesty. So we're probably okay overall. Sector 5 is charging up their battery. Great. They're ripping up these batteries. We can rip out that food and ship it over there instead. And then I can put that thing down there after I find somewhere to get the steel out of the sector. Because once again, where's our steel? Yep. That's just the easiest answer. Just put in one of those. Okay. What we're doing, we were going to click on this. Alright, our probe discovered unusual electromagnetic signal translating beneath the surface of P43. The signal shares many similarities with the one our team identified in the rock and ASCII sky comment in the Immortan system. This is the Gear crew. We've landed on P43. The electromagnetic signal seems to be trailing from below the planet's surface. We only have a limited amount of time to investigate before our suits and Gear's hull be compromised by P43's corrosive atmosphere. Yogesh recommends the use of demolition charges to accelerate the excavation progress. Boom. Drill. Sure. I like fireworks. Alright, so with that happening, Sector 6 stability is low, negative. 27 people? It's 5%? I don't think 27 people is 5%. We have 300. Okay, yeah, technically it's more than 5%. Okay. That's alright. You guys will get fed next mealtime, which is in 1.6 cycles. What? Don't have the tech lab have an accident. Alright, and this sector, I'm curious, we're in... Okay, so we've got 75 colonists already. And... no, we don't have any other sections that I can shove lots of people into. No. Alright, well, we'll just leave them training for a little while, I think. Yeah, that's it. They got fed. Alright. We still have... oh, only 84 popsicles to pick up. Unless... No, we're all popsicled out. Okay. Explosion was largely expected to reveal a huge subsystem of subterranean tunnels. Despite the rubble and the instability of the area, the Gears team identified a passageway leading to the anomaly. The journey downwards was without incident. Excellent! The anomaly is a large cave full of strange geological forms. Concentric circles are present on the walls, reaching from the floor to the ceiling and formed in many layers of different sediments. Crystal formations have grown everywhere. What's most astonishing, however, is the anomaly itself. It's a huge grey sphere, about 4 meters in diameter, floating in the center of the cave. Oh, we've gone and seen one of these before. And everybody got swamped. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess, examine the sphere. Gibbs team will collect and analyze various samples from the sphere. Gears team will analyze various samples from the crystalline formations that have grown on the walls of the cave. Analyze samples from sediment arrangements in concentric circles. Alright, well, I say we start with sphere. The sphere. Let's start with the sphere. And hopefully it leads to prosperous and not death. Accident sector 4, which is one of those. That's okay. And research at 98%. Okay, so I have 150 power, which definitely means that you are my next research, whether I like it or not. Actually, how much power do you use? 10. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. You are 34 apiece, and you are 33 apiece. So technically, I'm going to use 3 less power plus another 10 in exchange for 50 power. We're breaking even mostly. Okay, so the only thing I didn't put in this sector was stability. So I don't have one of these, which I'd really like. That's not a bad position for it. Okay, I also would like... much power do I have in this sector? Sector 6, 20 cycles, heaps. Okay, pause the game. 1, 2, 3. Stability. Yeah, that works for me so far. Alright, so we're going to run that to there, and then I'm going to run maintenance. I'm going to run 2 of those. I could put in better housing, but we have housing for how many? 6. I have housing for 400, and I'd really like to get up to 600. 800. Maybe rather than batteries. Batteries. Maybe rather than those. Where we have a drone pod. Yeah, let's put in 111, 116. Okay, we're going to put in one of those. Because that all fits nicely. That fits really nicely. This is still more farmland that we need to put in. And I just need the last of the water to disappear. Okay, so you're all iced out. You can do food. You're all iced out as well. You can do food. No, hang on. We have 10 ice left. There's 10 ice right there. Stop. Ice. Transports. Sector 3. Ice 200. Sector 2. I want you to keep 0 ice. Sector 2, keep no ice. Yeah, mail that stuff out. Because with that shipped out as well, actually, I can turn that off and unselect ice. So that's another thing. We can turn on the hydrogen, because it's probably going to have to do hydrogen in the not too distant future, especially if we want nuclear power. So it's going to bring the ice to here somewhere, which would then go to there. And now I have 0 ice in stock, which means I can set you to food. And we just need to run down the water tank. Yeah, okay. So we're very close to swapping across. And we're working on nuclear power. There was also... No, I didn't see anything else that saved on power. No. That was producing faster. Okay, yeah. We've done everything we can power-wise. Okay, you're going to do food. You're going to do food. Food. Okay, so you had food. Alright, so I want Sector 6 to keep. Let's go with 80 food. And I want it to export to all. Basically. Something like that. But I want to max the priority. Yeah, I want to make sure you're the one sending out the food. Not that you have food currently, but you know, we're going to be turning it on very soon. We have 14 ice. Okay, well, in that case, what we're going to do is we are going to turn that on. 95 power, 29 power. Let's turn that off. 33 power. Let's turn that off. 4 power available. Oh, so close. So close. Alright, no, Sector 3. We can start decommissioning this. When I remove that, that's going to empty the water tank. So we'll let these run for a little while longer, just so we can try and get them both running for a little bit. Make sure we're coming. Okay, the sphere repels anyone or anything that gets too close to it, as if it were a magnet repelling another. According to our reading, sphere is composed of multiple layers. A thin gaseous layer covers the surface, seemingly sedimentary layer beneath. Within that, the core generates a strong electromagnetic field that periodically, degasses the surface. We've also detected the presence of a particle characteristics of self-similar space. Behavioral reports indicate that Shashanti has developed a strange fascination with the sphere. I am not surprised. Okay, so we can go back to this one. So we have geological forms and concentric circles. Presence on the walls. Okay, so this is various samples of crystalline formations that have grown on the walls, and this is, I'm guessing, on the floor. I'm guessing. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with this concentric circles and hope that all the crew survive to tell us all about it later. All right, so we are running just. Also means that I'm going to unset you for food. I'm going to unset you for food. I'm going to unset you for food. I'm going to make sure that this sector, which was sector 3, is, oh no, that's meant to be maxed, is set to 90, same as everybody else. Okay, waste going to sector 6 is definitely the most important. And 3, I have 120 food in this sector. Okay, so we're gonna turn that one off and that one. And I'll turn you to food and you to microchips. Something like that. That should work. Should work the way I hope it works. Yes. Okay. Meanwhile, you guys are still training. Sector 4. 105 colonists. You are definitely training colonists. And we just need to find out what happens here. Actually, is there anything else we were working on at the same time? I know I was working on multiple projects at the same time. You're good to go unless I want to rearrange things for batteries, which I do want to do, but not at the moment. You could do 10 cycles. No, you don't even need a big battery. You we can demolish in a second. You and you I can demolish you right now. And then we're going to put in...
A science ship team has completed a task.
Let's find out who survived. We're going to put in one of these. Yeah, this is my sector of I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be awesome, whatever it is. Actually, that's 4, and a battery's 5, right? Eh. You know what? We can lose 2 bits of road. Undo that, throw a battery there. Alright, so this is a nothing sector still. Okay, and I have 14 free power. You guys are all running, your water needs are met. I just need power. Power is going to be my big one. Alright, collect the 18 science, that way hopefully we get the nuclear reactor done, because I'm going to need to... The section that doesn't have a plan is probably going to end up being nuclear. Concentric circles do not have a classical geological origin. Phenomena unknown external to the geological activity observed on point 43 generates these strange formations. The circles are not perfect, but the distance between each layer is proportional to their diameters. Atomic analysis revealed the presence of particles characteristics of self-similar space. Sensors indicate that the team's suits and gears will soon be compromised by the planet's atmosphere. Reparation should be initiated urgently. Yep, well, that means we need to get out of here. We could leave the last one. Oh, as we prepared to leave, Shani leaped onto the sphere. Unlike our previous attempts, they were not repelled. They were sucked in. Everything has been recorded in the report. We leave this barren and cursed rock. Well, one crew member missing. It's fine. We have replacements. We have 4,154 replacements. Yep, we just defrosted somebody to replace you straight away. Alright, so from there we have 37, and we have 41, and we need to build a nuclear reactor, which I think are all things we're going to look at in the next episode. We have half a tank of water left to go. You have nowhere to store the food. Oh, I didn't think about that. So we're still burning food here. Well,
An
making food
accident
here.
has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Yeah, let's empty out the food. 8. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nuclear power plant has been unlocked. Okay. Nuclear power plant. What are my options? 20 fuel workers required to run the building. Okay, that sounds very important. Power cost reduced by 10 because you need to import a certain amount of power into a nuclear reactor to boot up a nuclear reactor to then make a whole bunch of power. And geome correction. Construction costs reduced by 40%. Construction costs don't worry me. The electronics factory needs permanent monitoring, or the workers' analytics polymer refinery is required to unlock that one. You're the electronics permanent monitoring, which is the last one, which is less workers, which we're talking about getting anyway. Which needs that, which needs recycled materials, which needs that. Sure. We can start on that at the same time. We were looking at the risk foresight and the fire starter for the workshop as well, just so we can get them out of the way. We haven't got into some of the big tech over here, but that's okay. We have enough points to get not a lot done, but it's something. And available power, sure, we're bursting at the seams with food. We're also bursting at the seams with steel. Yeah, microchips all around, guys. We're gonna want more microchips, at least then we can train more colonists. All right.
Whose trust in your leadership is falling?
You powered up?
Power supply overloaded.
No. I don't know what would have turned on.
Power restored.
I don't know what would have turned on. I thought everything was already running. Alright, well, we lost some trust because we overloaded the power network, but that's why we want to go grab those researchers. Either way, I do need to end this episode here. I will see you guys in the very next episode where we have starving people. It's the same 27. It's the same 27. They just can't be bothered walking to the mess hall. They're lazy. That's all it comes down to. Anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here. Next episode, we'll come back and we will do probably... 5. No, you need 6. No idea. Next episode, we'll come back and we'll decommission this. And I think we'll start on our nuclear power plant. Yeah, good old nuclear power plant. I think that'll be the next episode. But I'm going to leave it here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the very next video. All right, bye.